Kenny, thank you very much for putting 100 litres of petrol in your deal. As a valued customer, so your videos apologising to all the seals that are batting out.
Yeah. Sales, everybody needs good data. You have spoken a lot about it. It's always about the data, right?
What does the data do?
I mean, usually,
can you send one to my mother-in-law saying, don't sign in to 50 fucking devices. We've only got a package for 3.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome. I'm laughing because I
Welcome
haven't been
back.
here for a while and I've kind of forgotten how we do this.
Who are you?
It's
been a while, man.
Exactly, mate. Yes, I've been off my world travels around Prague. And welcome back to the Informatics podcast. I'm almost forgetting the name. Season 2, episode 17.
Nah, yeah.
So I have forgot.
Producer, 17?
Not forgot. Yeah,
Bloody
17.
hell.
So
Okay.
exactly. So guys, welcome back.
Season.
Always a pleasure. Always got a good guest for you. But
we
Danny,
do.
of course, we must do the business of the podcast. Please.
Welcome back to Info Matters podcast. It does feel like an eternity since I've sat opposite
it's been a
Kenny,
while.
because the past few shows we've
had our stand-in guy.
Kenny's been dating. He's been travelling the world. on other
You'll remember
people.
that episode. We'll put it up here somewhere, right?
Yeah. He's been on Jeff Bezos' yacht or in the back of his dump truck. Anyway, welcome back to the new, to the old, to those who are interested. Info Matters podcast, as you know, season 2. We're bringing in tech. We're bringing in more personalised chats, and the purpose of this show is actually about hyper-personalised communications.
Yes.
Something that's very untouched on. We're having a chat with our wonderful guest prior to coming in the bunker. If you're interested in the topics we talk about, if you're interested in the IT world, if you're interested in having a chat with us, just put your comments in the box down below. Please like, please subscribe. They're the reason that we keep coming back, and I keep sitting opposite Kenny with these wonderful guests.
Exactly.
If you are interested, have a look at we do have some vacancies open. We're also going to have a chat with our guest here. We're also looking at hiring people here in the Czech Republic, in Prague. So you never know. Your opportunity could be waiting for you. So without further ado, Kenny's going to interview. I'm going to say the name. We're going to start with Philippe Van Nieuwenborgh.
Yeah, exactly. Easy
From
break.
Dialog.
Exactly.
Welcome to the
Dialog
show,
group.
Philippe.
Right, thank you. Thank you
Exactly.
for having
we
me. Thank you.
Always good. Now, we don't know Philippe. Well, we of course,
don't.
in the pre-brief, but he
We
is
know-
connected.
Yes, he's connected to a guest who's going to come onto our show, who's a famous musician. His wife. They used to work together.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
The
matter
world-
where we go.
The world remains
or
small.
who we invite, we always find out we know some. And we've got a little bit of orange in there because this company
Because
is born and bred in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Correct.
Although you're from
Belgium.
so the world is a
A
wonderful
little bit
mix
of Flemish that we
that.
can't speak.
Yeah.
So jobs are good.
We know. We should say
Eddie
hi,
Van Kamp.
Yeah, Eddie
Hi,
Gensey,
Eddie.
a good friend of ours.
Okay.
He was about the only Flemish guy I've ever met in my life.
So tell us a bit about yourself.
Exactly.
We know you're from Dialog. What is Dialog? I mentioned
Yes.
hyper-personalised communication.
And I'm fascinated by
Sounds
this,
great.
Felipe.
Sounds
So you,
great.
but let's start there.
Let's
yeah?
go
Stage
then.
is yours, brother.
Thank you. So yeah, who's Dialog Group? Because a lot of confusion, dialogue. It's in the name. We want to have meaningful dialogues with customers. It started all in '92. And
Wasn't that long ago then, huh?
No. We're still the best kept secret ever.
I love it.
So since '92, we are producing a lot of data and we put it on something. And it started with print.
Okay.
Right.
So everybody receives an invoice, a contract, maybe a fine, I don't know. These type of
Usually
The
communications.
latter being ours.
I always get fined.
Boarding passes, stuff like
Yeah,
that,
okay,
you
we do
know,
enough of that,
all kind of communication, but nobody really understands. I have a lot of friends. They say, I still don't understand what you're doing. So I'm hoping today
Yeah, okay.
that I
We
can
can
explain
overcome
that better.
Okay.
But so it's Dialog Group since '92. We evolved. We have now offices in Bunnik, which is in the Netherlands, in
Yep.
Belgium, in Mechelen, Germany, Marburg, and the beautiful
City of
Prague.
Prague.
Right. Wonderful, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have mainly financial companies, but also quite some utilities, leisure companies, everything which is high volume, mass customer communication.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do. And we do it, we take data,
Yep.
we have data solutions because everybody needs good data. You have
Yeah.
spoken a lot about it. It's always about the
good
data, right?
What does the data do?
I mean, usually data,
Yeah.
well, we usually dump it.
We
'cause
dump
it's-
it.
Nobody has the data, right? But we need data.
No, they usually
Sure.
have it, but it's usually pants.
It's
And it's
old.
also pants, and it's usually old. So I'm delighted. We were in our pre-brief in our little cafe where you were telling me you have means to make that data
Yes.
Tell us.
good and all
tell
that way.
us,
So tell us. I'm
Yes.
fascinated.
You can have my job.
No, really, no.
No,
I
no,
spoke with you. No, I'm not going to have your job. No. No, we have data solutions, but in essence, you were asking what's Dialog Group. We have good partnerships. We're a solution integrator. We evolved. We resell software. But the real differentiator we have is our people. And I think that's maybe Everybody is saying that, but
Yes.
for us it's really true. I'm started in CCM world, customer communication management, in '99, which is celebrating my 25th or so.
you're getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting old, but my colleagues also. We're all very passionate. That's the only thing we do, customer communications. But
I wouldn't say old, I say wisdomous. Wisdom.
Wise, Kenny.
Yeah,
wise.
wise. Sorry.
I am wisdomous, Bob.
I think I just made up a word. Sorry, I do
You've
apologize.
just coined a new word, Kenny.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
everybody
Wise.
is still looking at communication, but we are much more in the interaction space because today we live in a mobile world space. You want to interact, you want to have digital self-service, but what really differentiate us, we're not saying to our customers, just go digital full.
Yeah.
No, never forget the human. Use your people also with their expertise. People want to have meaningful conversations, not saying I want to change my address. That's not really meaningful, right?
No.
But everybody's starting
Kind of
call
procedural.
center,
Yeah.
costs a lot of money, everybody is ticketing. If you give a good experience where you can just change your address yourself, why not? And then you can start about other use cases and stuff like that.
So you're providing a platform for somebody to keep their data correct without chatbots, all that sort of, or without going to offices and what have you. So you're combining the technology side with the human side.
Yes,
basically.
absolutely. And it's not just one platform. I think there is no technology problem anymore. It's the people that are using the technology,
True.
right?
True.
So,
That's why data's shit.
Yeah.
and that's why I say we're a solution integrator, because a lot of companies have data. I'm not saying it's bad data. There is no bad data.
No, I'm saying it's bad data.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
It's not actionable.
It's not actionable. It's not accurate. It's not personalizable. And there's a multitude of ways that I might want a massively better experience with my utility, with my mobile phone company, with whomever I deal with. And I don't have particularly high expectations anymore. Delighted to hear you haven't shoehorned your entire customer service down the AI shitter, frankly.
Well, the challenge we face, it doesn't matter what industry, but we are in a similar industry, in tech, is you'll take on a project and it's a transformation or whatever, and they hand you data.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, you don't know how old the data is. Who do you ask about it? We don't know.
Yeah.
That person's left.
Yeah.
That's it. You've already you've dug a hole and you're sat
You're
in
already
it.
in it, yeah.
So how do you get out of it? We can't.
Yeah.
So they've gone. You can't approach them. You can't do that. So I mean,
Exactly, and if I'm understanding correctly, Philippe, you have the option to present that data in front of the right person. So that I imagine, and I wasn't thinking earlier about the enterprise project route. I should do, as Danny said, we end up dealing with a bunch of data that's 70% correct, which leaves you with that kind of 80-20 we were talking about in the pre-brief, where you can get 80% done, but it costs you 80% of the money to get the latter 20% done and close. So I was thinking more of my consumer experience, regardless if you have the option to present what is known of an individual, be them an enterprise employee or a mobile phone customer, or, and by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, or a utility customer, and say, by the way, this is what we know of you, and I'm particularly interested in this video thing, you can tell me about it shortly, and we say, irrespective of the channel, you said WhatsApp or classic email or what, but video sounded fascinating. Where tell me about the video experience.
Yeah, that's quite unique. Everybody knows personalized video. I think it's like, hey, Danny, Kenny, how are you?
Yep.
Congratulations with your birthday, whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
And Dialog Group is also focusing on customer journey. Do you know customer journeys, how that works and stuff like that?
No.
Basic idea.
Yeah, my journey is the end of a cliff.
Yeah.
My journey is
if you think about
thanks
it,
for the contract now.
Yeah,
but we're supporting the customer journey in a way. And for us, like, we take the data, we have data solutions, governance, quality.
Yeah.
We put it in our central management communication hub system. We call it the customer interaction layer.
Okay.
It's APIs driven. It's whatever you want, because we live in that mobile world. And then we need to deliver it.
Yep.
And that could be internal or external, right?
Okay.
You have portals, you have archive systems, you have your phone, whatever. If we talk about interactive video, it's quite special. It's personalized, obviously, because we use your data real time. If you visit your Vodafone website because you have a mobile plan and you change something on the website, we have the data, we can immediately use that in the video. Okay. And that's what we mean with hyper-personalized. On the other hand, we're trying to avoid friction. Nobody is happy if you need to leave a channel. So what we can do with our video solution is that you can change stuff in the video. For example, you have a family member who wants a Vodafone plan. First question is, hey, this is your overview of your Vodafone plan. Is this still correct? It's based for one member. Then you can say, no, I want to add my child or my partner in the video without
in the video
without leaving the video. And the beauty of it pushes it back to the CRM, to the ERP, whatever. It's connected.
So you can do upsales basically.
Yeah.
So if you
You
had
can
a,
do
a Netflix package and you
Yeah.
want, you don't have
Yes.
the family.
Yes.
So
And it
I
would
can
send you-
I can watch a
Or-
video. Sorry, go on, please.
Or you can explain stuff better. I don't know how the pension system
Can you send one
works.
to my mother-in-law saying, "Don't sign in to 50 fucking devices. We've only got a package for 3."
It's possible, and that's what we
No,
need.
no, no,
supporting
Danny knows-
organizations
no,
to
no,
know.
I love you.
Danny
Everybody-
knows. Yeah, he knows you like 55 Netflix accounts.
Yeah, yeah.
Three
I
months
get them
ago.
every day. Go, do you want to change your household address to hit? No.
No.
I live in Prague, not on the
Yeah.
moon.
Yeah. Then you have 14 days to.
Yeah. In the meantime,
I wonder why my Apple
Yeah.
subscriptions
his
are
car
10
gets
times the
raped.
price.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, in the video, you can make the complex simple because nobody's reading pension documents, insurance documents.
Yeah.
But if you explain it with somebody
Yeah.
in front of it, and we have proof of that, we have a customer in the Netherlands, an insurance company who avoided churn.
Yeah.
As in
Because
customers
everybody,
leaving, customers-
everybody, there's a special policy where you can, at the end of your pension, you can cash out.
Yep.
That's bad for the bank because they can't invest that money anymore.
Yeah.
But people are spending that money, so you're not helping your customer, in fact.
Yeah.
And they had beautiful documents, marketing brochures, everything, 20, 15 papers.
Yeah.
Nobody understood it, and they cashed out.
Right.
With our video solution, we convinced them 80% stayed
Conversion to convert
to stay in the plan. Because why? We said, okay, do you realize what the impact is? And because you don't leave the video, we can do different calculations. So we did a simulation in the video.
Yeah.
So if you cash out, this means this. What is your expectation for in 5 years? Do you have
Okay.
children that go to school, university?
Yeah.
We calculated the cost and the money they would, a gap to their pension.
So you're bridging a revenue gap as well, aren't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by. I mean, we've always known that in social media and online video is way more engaging.
Yes.
And if there was ever an instructional video that I could send to my mother and or family members to explain everything, you would, because for 30 seconds of your time you save about 65 years in practical effort elsewhere. So, and particularly when doing videos, and I'm forgive me laboring, I'm fascinated by the fact that there's this level of interaction on an information layer that you say, no, that's not correct. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you can. I believe you. That no, that's not. I have 3 mobile phones and I don't live at that address anymore, and I have 2 SIM cards, and by the way, this data is not enough. Can I up it? I'd watch that video all day repeatedly.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I am fascinated, and I do want to see this, by the way. And 2, if I had that level of interaction that I knew in real time was going to update excuse my French, the shit show that is most suppliers, because I'm totally convinced that a lot of people just have no interest in maintaining their customers because, and we also talked about this earlier, incentives always go to new customers because
Yes. That's my frustration.
who cares about and we've said this before. You walk past Vodafone here, massive incentives, 1 year a third of the cost of what we pay as an existing.
But
All I need is a little bit of care.
But as you were saying before, you have all the incentives to go in and sign a 24-month contract.
Yeah.
But as soon as you've done it, you're done.
You're
done.
You're
Same
on
as
the
you
books. Who
Same as
cares?
you remember all the pensions that we signed for.
Yeah.
Once you're done, your commissions, they're not interested, and that's. But I'm not just talking that from a revenue perspective. It's the same for any customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
It's kind of well, we've dealt with you before. We're not really interested now. Or you're at the back of the queue.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not incentivized to wait, and therefore I'll pull out and go and sign another contract where
exactly.
someone's going to pay me some attention.
Right.
And that's
What we say. The companies causes their own switch
Sure.
costs.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You're a Formula One fan, right?
yeah.
Imagine you're a part of a big telco or a TV company, and you just signed up, and then 3 months later, big new action for new customers receiving free tickets to Formula One.
You're steaming.
You'd buy a new
you would
TV.
go,
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And if we talk about the video again, but for us, it's not just one channel.
No,
it
of
should
course.
be the omni-channel, the connection of all channels.
Well, you mentioned WhatsApp and
it should be the
any
same
channel.
experience.
If that's your interaction, then I imagine you could have a WhatsApp conversation.
Yeah.
Kind of Q&A based that would update your
So
data.
it's kind of digitally humanizing the modern world, isn't it? So you might not have like me talking to you one-to-one human interaction, but it's kind of
But it's
giving you
still a
that
credit-
experience from
yeah.
a digital perspective.
Yes.
Right.
You want to make the digital human. You want to make it feel human, But if you have a question,
I've seen a few on
or the
Instagram.
AI,
no.
Ring that bell.
no, yeah, I'm not saying that.
Not
yeah,
those ones.
That's for me, AI is amazing innovation. It's not artificial intelligence, I would say, but you know, if the system detects, like, there is a difference, right? If you have a crack in your rear window of your car, you're willing to go to a chatbot and declare the damage.
Yeah.
But if your house is burned down,
You want now.
you
Yeah,
want
no,
to
no,
speak with a human,
exactly,
right? And
of course.
that's what we
Good
are
analogy.
advising.
I mean,
if you detect it,
Yeah.
offer a human channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, AI form filling. I have a broken window. When did it happen? Yesterday. Submit. That's fine. And you got a little bit of personalization. Hi, how are you?
But when you have urgency,
Right, yeah, exactly. Or, I mean, that's actually a good example. AI-based form filling is about the extent to which I want to spend my time engaging with AI.
Yeah.
There are other examples, but when it comes to, hi, my contract's coming up for renewal, no worries, let me look at the offers I've got. I still want to talk to a human, right? And the world's falling down the AI hole. But what I'm hearing is that you've developed a kind of middle ground. I mean, there's still humans involved, but you've well engineered this channel where, irrespective of how I want to converse, I'm getting a real-time confirmation, that what I'm saying is being fed into the right place.
Yes.
Because we've spent many times talking to my recent car hoo-ha. We're not talking about that in the podcast. Okay, I put benzene in my diesel car. Cost me a lot of money.
Benzene, for those that don't live in this part of Europe, is petrol.
Petrol, yeah.
Gas.
Yeah, gas for our American
So
friends.
give us another use case. I mean, so you've got, we've had a phone package or a tariff. Give us a more business case for an enterprise, if that's the case.
Yeah, there are many use cases, typically also used for onboarding, explaining stuff well.
There's one.
That you know what you bought as a policy, what you can do with it. That's a use case.
Onboarding into a job, I suppose.
I was about to say.
Customer onboarding, like what is my policy covering? It's much more engaging in a video way, for example. Yeah. Retention, of course, is a very famous thing. What we're doing now with Dialog Group is a completely different angle. But we are also a company that cares about humanity. We give something back of our revenue to the...
So you have videos apologising to all the seals that are batting.
Sales
Sorry, dolphins.
Sales don't like it, but there's a terrible...
They haven't got TVs or phones.
No. There's a terrible disease which is called ALS, which makes you paralyzed at the end. And if you get the disease, you're 2 to 5 years and it's done. Right? Okay. But what we're doing is, together with that organization, is using the video to get fundraising.
Interesting.
Right.
Because you put patients in front of the camera, they do their story, and you put a button, donate. Because we need money for the
So and again, the video is more engaging, compelling, and
it makes an impact.
Yes.
I mean, maybe there's something. Obviously, all your links to Dialog, etc., will be on the show.
Yes.
Maybe you could send us a snippet or an example of this video for people out there.
Yeah,
as I said, it's something.
It's in Dutch, however.
Everyone understands Dutch.
And all that kind of stuff. But forgive me, I do that. But
Ash the belief, and then just put the video on.
Absolutely.
So there are many use cases for video, but video is a channel, right?
Yes.
It's just a touch point in a customer journey. If you look at a customer journey, it starts with commercials on television when you visit a job. Those are all touch points in a journey. Yeah. And what we're trying to do is to maximize those touch points where we are specialties in. Because looking at your mother, she probably likes paper. Fine, we deliver the paper, good experience.
3 packs of cigs a day.
Clear, whatever. Your daughter probably wants to have only a WhatsApp conversation. But in essence, if you look at it, it's the same data. It's the same.
No, and this is what I'm infatuated with, and I'm a data guy, always have been. Is irrespective of the channel, you're engaging with the same data. I mean, paper-based. We've even convinced my mother to move to an iPad, and she might not use the video, but she certainly would use WhatsApp and all that.
She wrote all over the screen with a marker pen. Now it's
bugging.
Sorry, Beryl.
No, permanent marker pen. So that way, the new iPad.
But I mean, how do you help like the state? State. Governmental organisations, civil
get better at data.
Use a lot of paper.
Yeah.
Everything's
very
paper.
manual.
So how do you help in the paper? How do you convert somebody who's 10, and it's always the shit paper as well.
It's always that brown envelope.
How would you assist? I mean, the governments are huge. They've got huge funding. They've got huge amount of overhead to switch.
Government is not easy. It's not my favorite vertical to be in there.
We can cut that bit out.
No, you can leave it in.
and we're guilty of bullying our guests into conversations. We do apologise, but I find this again fascinating. Surely they are the ones, or some of the most, where the biggest gains are, right? So
Yes.
their engagement with not the consumers, but what they call them customers, taxpayers, all that kind of stuff. The biggest gains are there, right?
I don't know. The problem is with governmental, I think, is that you have every year a new government who's making new rules. You know,
Yeah, they
it's-
bring in different partners who do the
it's for
different
the
things.
habitants. It's not really a customer experience. You are a citizen of the country.
Yeah.
True.
And in the Netherlands, I'm very lucky. It's very digitalized. It's very good. If I compare it with Czech Republic, with all due respect,
Sure.
it's
No,
a
it's
different culture.
it's
It's a
well-
different process.
Yeah.
It's a different.
Well respected, and we can imagine, Danny and I are British, and I'm not going back there. Hi, Mum. But I love you, and I am coming back. But the government, your rule base would change every year.
Yeah.
Almost, and I can imagine that being quite hard to keep up with. Companies tend to give themselves 1 to 3 years, excuse me, to get new processes embedded and to see the benefits. So you can understand why you'd spend your time in the private sector. So I imagine that's predominantly your focus and that kind
Yes,
of stuff. Yeah,
that's
okay.
correct. Yeah.
And where would you say? Where do you? Is it the enterprise class, or is it the consumer, or?
Both. We started out in '92 with the enterprises,
Yep.
and we're still doing them, but we're also going in tier 2, what we call tier 2, which are top
You're kind
small
of 500
enterprises.
plus, yeah. Kind of.
But it's not about us how big the companies are or large.
Yeah.
It's about how many communications and how customer intimate they want to go.
I see.
Okay.
Because
Customer intimate. I like
yeah,
that, I like
because
that.
for me it's like I have a preference. I'm a digital guy. I want to do digital things by myself.
Of course.
But for a company, I have also other customers that don't want to have that, a personalized experience on paper, or
Yeah.
they want to call. That's fine. The beauty is, what we are managing on is like put that system in place, detect the channel of preference, and serve that
And
channel
yes,
of
yes,
preference,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
And
it's-
grow
'cause
with the
you-
customer, because a child is different. Our children,
Yeah.
they're only doing
My niece
mobile
won't.
stuff.
She will never pick up a phone call ever.
No, but bear
No.
in mind, if you're going from a mobile company, the sexiest part is you might get a phone handset as part of your
Yeah.
tariff. So that turns your teenager on. I love watches.
Yeah.
Now, for someone who loves luxury watches, you want to see brochures coming through. You want to see very high quality video.
Yeah,
coming
actually,
through.
it's-
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
me. Something came through saying this has just come out for the new Rolex
Yeah.
Watch and Wonders. Danny, welcome to the booth. This, that,
Yeah,
and
all
the
that
other. We
good stuff.
appreciate your deeds. I would shit.
Yeah.
I'd be all over it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we
Because
go. Let's
you
do
don't-
this.
Because
Because
you
it's
don't
very-
get that.
and to be
You can go
personalised.
into a watch dealer and you can pick up the new brochure, but
Yeah.
I want the authorised dealer to send me not an offer, just hi Danny, we know you're there.
Yeah.
It's your birthday
And
coming
yeah,
up.
Exactly. Yes.
Come
Yeah.
and have
Yeah.
a glass of prosecco, alcohol free,
Yeah.
in the shop with us.
Yeah.
People in the luxury market will shit.
Yeah,
Same as if
exactly.
you're buying a car.
What was that film when they used to scan your eyeballs?
Minority Report.
Minority Report, right? And they scan your eyeball, and they had modern. I mean, this is 10, 15 years ago. You scan your eyeballs, retina scan, and what you saw through your retina would be highly customized. So hey, I think Gap were involved, and they say, "Hey Kenny, how were the jeans you bought last month? This time, by the way, if you want to come back in, you get the next pair half price." Whatever. I mean, I'm not always saying it's a sales incentive. As Danny said, it's customization. Know my name. At least give me the slightest clue of the value that you think, or the value that I want to feel towards you, which is personalization. And from what I remember from some projects I run, it's 3 points of personalization. It's first of all my name, the context of what I was buying, is it kids, family, or all that kind of good stuff. And I forget the third one, possibly a price point.
Buy me an iPhone.
Or buy me. But I'm not looking for free shit.
No.
And I'm looking for, I guess, recognition. Even that sounds wanky.
Recognition.
No,
You
a
want
little bit of respect.
You mentioned before loyalty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
If
if
I'm
you look,
loyal,
yeah,
even if it's a message on my birthday,
yes,
or like I
Yes.
buy Lacoste clothes.
Yeah.
I got a free umbrella last year. I'm not expecting anything, but you get an email that says, Danny, please update your data here.
Yeah.
We're really enthused that we've got a new range.
absolutely.
I will read it.
Yeah. And then when you
Simple as that.
and by when you come in, and a little bit at the right point in time, birthdays are relevant, anniversaries are relevant. The anniversary, if the lifespan of a pair of jeans is a year or half a year, or a pair of shoes on the anniversary, listen, thanks for coming in. Why don't you come in? We'll see if we can sort you out. Here's a little token of
And
appreciation.
is that the kind of thing that we're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at you guys, you're really busy, right? You want to
Yep.
spend your time well. You don't want to waste your time about useless offers.
Yeah.
You want to have the right offer at the right
Yeah,
timing,
indeed.
right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's the trick we're trying to do with the data, because we need the data, but don't exaggerate. we also call it, well, not me, but a very important guy in Belgium, and he does very good stuff. Maybe also a guest for the podcast, maybe once a time, but it's called Steven van Bellegem. He says, sell without selling.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
He's a really ambassador. He's a famous speaker about customer and what that does, customer intimacy and stuff like that.
I love that phrase.
And I do like that. I do like
that. It's very common in us, and a lot of companies want to achieve that, but I think the biggest mistake they do or make is they turn it around. They turn it to them. So they're not in for the customer.
No, they're in it for the revenue.
They're in for themselves. While if you put the customer first, central, and you guys are how long are in the IT business? You know it all. The customer first,
years,
right?
But
if you really look
70
at
years
it,
collectively,
it's not really true. And that's something we, as a consultancy firm, are advising our customers. No, you have to look at it from a different angle. The customer is willing to pay you. They want to give you the money. They want to give you the whatever, but they want to be recognized. They want to be helped. Maybe helped is the best word.
I'd even go so far. I'd even go so far as to say, I don't want to be fucked over every time I call.
Yes.
So I like, and for the Vodafones out there who I've been to the UK Ombudsman, I don't know, 2 or 3 times for stupid shit, and it's just like, I'm going to renew my contract. Don't fleece me and don't make it a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And they make that every year, and because I'm stupid, I signed up last time for a couple of years, and I know what in 18 months' time when it happens again, it'll be I want to renew my phone. Well, what do you want? And it'll be an absolute miss. Last time they cut me off, and I was mobile phoneless for 2 months. A month. I live in a mobile world. One thing that occurred to me with all this kind of stuff in mind is, Danny and I talk a lot about data governance, privacy laws, all that kind of stuff. How do you manage that when you have so much data floating around?
Yeah, basically we do that together with a customer because we don't own the data. We have data solutions, so it's about data governance and quality mainly.
Yep.
You want to have good data you trust.
Yep.
You need to trust the data. If you want to have good communications, you need to trust the data. And then we are back at the beginning of the podcast. Yeah. Is there bad data or is the system not managed well? That's a different discussion because a lot of companies have bought companies. They acquire companies. You are in multiple systems. What we do with our technology is like, you're called in system A, K dot, in the other system, Kenny dot Phillips. We see the same birthday date. We see the same address. We say, hey, this is probably the same person.
Match,
So we match it. And we use that golden record in our communication. So you receive always, hey, Kenny, how are you today?
Exactly.
So
you get to create a master data.
Well, we leave the data where it is. Okay. We are not typically BI data. Yeah. We pull it out dynamically.
So you're not using the data. You're
presenting almost.
You're presenting it.
Actionable. We make it actionable. We can use, and we even have customers. We have communications coming from CRM systems like Salesforce, Dynamics, whatever, and we combine that with mainframe data. Legacy data. Everybody is afraid of legacy. I always say legacy is not a problem legacy as long as you can manage
probably
it.
The best data, but you just don't know how to leverage it.
But in our cyber worlds, when you leave a digital footprint, when you leave a footprint, and I'm really keen to make sure that I've got data removed from where it shouldn't be, or legacy data because I no longer have an account there, whatever it might be, and it's for various reasons, but it's basically good cyber hygiene. Is I want that legacy data product, and I want to decide if that needs to be merged with this or whatever it might be. And I can imagine a video. By the way, we bought Widgets Incorporated, and we're now in Widgets SRO here in the Czech Republic. We're going to merge this data. Which fields do you want to present that to me? Or we don't want to see you go, and here's 500 crowns to stay. Do you want to delete your account? That is the mecca.
I'm intrigued. How do you implement it? So you're going into a corporation, whatever size it is. They're interested in your tool set. What are the steps to implementing it on their systems? Is it SaaS based? Is it on-prem? Do you go in? Do you consult?
Both. I see also a flip over back from with the geopolitics we're in today. That's a lot of companies are considering to go back on premise.
I've seen a lot of that. Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's continuously moving. AI is flipping everything. But also for AI, you need good data. If you feed the model with bad data, you get crazy stuff. And we are in the business like if you buy a house and you need a mortgage or whatever, it needs to be 100% correct. We can't get a hallucination of an AI saying, you're fine. We're really in that transactional business. But to the process it depends. If it's just a simple communication management process, we analyze like what's the templates, what's your house style, what type of fonts you need, what type of, we look at the company, what data is available. And then the question is, are you responsible? Can you provide us a good data file, yes or no? Or do we need some extract, transform, load processes in the middle, like kind of a middle layer, like an enterprise service bus where we translate that data to make it actionable? So it really depends how mature the company is, how far they want to go. So every approach is different, and that's what I said. The real knowledge of our company is not the technology, but is the experience of the people. Because we do it for banks, we do it for insurance companies, we do it for leisure companies like travel agencies.
Sure.
But in essence, it's a piece of communication you want to personalize.
And from a data protection, data security, you're in-house using their data for them anyway. So
Exactly. So for us, there's no burden.
That's a quick win.
Yeah, it is a quick win.
You're not taking the data anyway.
I always hate to interrupt the conversation, but producers woke up.
Sorry, edit this out. But
No, you know we won't do it.
just a question: how do you avoid overindulgence of the customer? So where is the fine line between providing services the customer may want to overselling it?
Yes.
So there's a sweet spot.
Valid question, and that's our role. We are not only a technology solution integrator, but we're also kind of a advisor.
Yeah.
But at the end, the customer decides, right?
Yeah.
If he wants to flood the customer, he can do
It's up to
so.
them.
Is that the best advice? No.
Yeah.
But sometimes there are companies in
They
the
roll
world.
into MailChimp keep going.
They do go overzealous. I mean, I'm getting excited about the possibilities here because you get multiple data sort of billing systems, mailing lists. You have legacy of contracts. You have stuff that is in PDFs, whatever it might be. Companies they've bought but they have never.
People want to feel important. So whether it's in your
Understood.
They want to feel loved.
If it's in your day, my day job. Now I'm talking. First, we're talking about a watch.
Yeah.
You talk about a car. You talk about a pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
But I'm in my, even in work, you want to receive something every night. And I was working on something today going, I'm going to send this out to my internal team, just thanking them for the weekend put together.
Yeah.
Because like satisfaction for your team.
Yeah.
Because that goes a long way. We've had someone here talking about it going, you get little gold stars and giving virtual donuts and stuff. It goes a long way. That
virtual donut.
Today, if I could have clicked a button and it had generated a video of me obviously being an absolute turkey. but
You'd have done it, right?
I would get so much, not more engagement out of the team, but they'd be more inclined to go, wow, that was worth doing. Because companies don't do it. You don't get a pat on the back and say thanks.
Are you explaining your people would be feel recognized?
Massively.
Is that not what you want as a consumer?
Yes.
Recognized as a customer.
And I'm trying to find the sweet spot of what I want to say. So particularly with the team I work with, fortunately we have the kind of Highfives, virtual as they may be. And some of them will come to me and say, "Would you mind?" And my word choice is always like, "Would you behave, please? You don't have to. Of course, you can take a day off, whatever it might be." Or the guy today, I've got my brother's wedding in 3 weeks. I said, "Oh, I love a good wedding." So love that. Remember Kaylee dancing? It's basically fighting to music. And then he's having. And I sent a YouTube video, and these guys pissing his pants. I said, "Yeah, no worries, dude." So there's the accolades you can give to your team for a more personalized approach, which is in my case, is a 9-strong team, and it takes 5-10 minutes to make sure they know they're loved in all the ways. Wrong choice of words, but you get the point. As a consumer, it's minuscule amounts of effort for me to stay where I am, not fuck off, not sign up with somebody else. It's and I'm trying to. I think it is recognition. If I think of Vodafone here, 14 years or 15 years. I happen to see it.
All you need is a thank you and a personalised message.
Thanks for staying. Here's have a month off.
I'm waiting for one from Nathan.
Or we have seen that your bundle has been increased with data.
Yeah.
Or decreased. How beautiful would that be? You're paying $2
I'm there for life. Yeah.
No, but imagine, why not?
Yeah, but
why not?
They do it for new customers. Why not do it for existing ones?
Exactly.
Right? Welcome back. Or when on your renewal, welcome back to being a new customer, Mr. 15-year-old customer. Have 3 months of.
So
stuff.
what Kenny needs is he needs he needs to get kind of a notification. Kenny, thank you very much for putting 100 litres of petrol in your deal. As a value customer, we'll give you
here's a rope for
swan.
hanging yourself.
Yeah.
Here's a free fuel pump as actually in the other needed too. But
So we've got deeper customer engagement. You've got
better data quality,
building revenue gaps, delivering tailored needs.
Yeah.
We need any cons.
Any cons?
Don't want to put you on the spot.
I mean,
is it difficult to implement? How long is it? Is it time consuming? Is it?
Depends. That's
Yeah,
a
depends.
consultancy
Data
answer
volume is what
again.
they want to do. So the
No,
card
but
is up front.
it's that's the reason why I'm very grateful for this invitation. It's sharing my knowledge. Nobody realizes how difficult this is, and we do it in an automated way. To give you an example, if we do for one of the major health companies in the Netherlands a run at the end of the year with all the new policies, for a few 100,000 documents existing at 4 pages, it takes not longer than 5 to 10 minutes to produce them, fully automated. Fully customized, correct signatures.
So you can absorb paper-based documents data just as well as you can.
Our thing is automation in essence, and for our customers, because we are a B2B to C customer.
Yep.
Right. That's our space. We do not have the end customer, but we have the big telcos, the big insurance companies do have a lot of massive consumers, and we automate it in an efficient way because everybody is challenged with budgets, right? So also for our customers, it's not easy to achieve that perfect customer experience. So it's not easy, and
they're not going to build.
Well, if it was easy, everyone would do it, and if it was easy, we'd have heard about it. But it's not, and that's
and that's the problem. Everybody knows the big CRM players or ERP players like SAP or Salesforce, and massive amounts.
They ruined my weekend.
But
P34 your ass
Oh
off.
yeah.
CPI.
But everybody's investing in that, and then at the end,
they
somebody in
don't
the
know
room is
anything
like,
different.
"Hey, how are we
No, because
going to send out
that's the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
The definition of lunacy, right? And these must be absolute minefields of beautiful data that ages by the day. And why wouldn't you, wrong choice of words, exploit that for the better? And put that in front of the people, the consumer, the user, whoever it might be, give them the opportunity to correct it, and then use it to say, again, word choice is important. You know, your loyalty, or you've been in X company for 25 years or 25 minutes, whatever. You know, welcome, thanks, or after your 3 months probation, welcome to X company. Thanks for seeing through your probation. Have a free, whatever it might be.
Well, the way I see it is, as you've all said, that one thing that sticks in mind is your mobile phone tariff. You know, if I ever got an offer through, I'd read it. Or if I got, we think you're paying too much.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Use the
you
data.
don't need to come and see us.
No.
Yeah.
Use this digital platform.
Yeah,
to do
just
so.
reply on
Digital
or
self-service,
or yes. So you got 25 gig tariff per month, or in our case, unlimited. You don't need that because your average consumption is 10.
Yeah.
Why don't we, in return, and you can say to me, stay for another 65,000 years, and we half your bill.
I'll tell you what, we'll bring you in next time you're back, and we'll bring in O2, because my wife was with... no, seriously, we'll have the global or regional or whatever sales director and digital asset manager.
Yeah.
We'll bring him in and go, oi, Terry,
You sort this out.
free handsets and stuff. No, but I'm fascinated, because if you take away the fact that it's mega complex, you're taking mega complex data to make these things happen. Like something pops up. And that's the bit, that we're discussing.
I imagine some data lakes involved.
No,
the Splunks of the world.
Splunk off.
Well, we can,
many times,
we could connect with it, but again, we have so many stakeholders. Nobody realizes how many departments, if you look at it, to create a piece of communication, how many
people need
stakeholders
to be
within
involved.
the company you need.
You
have customer service, you have acquisition, you have the data people,
Finance,
you have the IT people.
data governance.
IT people always dangerous, right? But our business is not really
the cyber
IT.
the cyber guys are the things people.
No, but we are not really an IT system. We are more an enabler of customer communication. But typically it lives with IT. But IT is doing servers management, cybersecurity management. They don't have time to communicate with the customer. But in essence, we live in a digital world.
It's more marketing, I suppose.
Do you know
No, not really. It's more customer lifecycle management. It's
Well,
marketing is
marketing
acquiring
is an
new
element
people,
of
right?
that.
Yeah, true.
But
true.
It's brand awareness.
Yeah. This
Well,
is taking what you've already got and
do you know what I imagine?
You know what people
Philippe,
don't think of? Let's take what we've got and let's be grateful for it and make it work.
But I imagine he has some lovely dashboards.
I was going to say data.
I imagine lots of colours and dials and data and tracking, and he knows when you've read the message. Well,
that's the thing. Yeah, we have. We can analyze, and one of the
so you get
best,
data from data.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can reuse the data for another
of
communication.
course.
Especially the video, you can measure very well. How long did somebody
can
watch? Which buttons were clicked?
I mean,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
For a paper, that's more difficult. Did somebody read the document? Yeah, maybe there was a QR code. They
you can
scanned
zap
it.
that. Yeah.
Then you know, it's coming from the letter.
Yeah.
You know, So yeah, we
you have
have
customized links on messages that you can track the clicks and all that kind of good stuff.
We have personalized URLs,
Yeah.
everything you want. But emails, nobody's reading an email anymore. Basically, there is a.
Well, you bin it. That's the problem. Everything's coming through. You want it through a text or your phone, and you don't want to.
Email. What do they say? If you can deal with it in 3 seconds, do it now. If it takes 5 minutes, leave it, and then of course you never get it. I used to have a folder that said when I get 5 minutes. That folder got deleted with about 6.7 bazillion items in it about 3 years ago because it never happened. But you want and you want it kind of in, across your desk, out, right? The kind of cycle of progress.
So where do you see it going? I mean, technology changes on the fly, changes overnight.
Yeah.
People's attitudes to technology change the younger they get.
Yeah.
They're more, I wouldn't say mobile, they don't want to go to work. They're more on a device, whereas we tend to talk.
Yeah.
What's next for the dialogue group in terms of rolling with?
Well, we exist since '92, so we're very good in evolving.
Longevity, yeah.
So and that's also a role for our companies. We are also kind of an inspirational company in the sense of we follow innovation and we look at the value of that innovation, and then we try to do something actionable with it. Like we are waiting now with the AI hype. We are investing in it. We are following it truly. But the value is still like it needs to be 100% correct. And today with AI is simply not there yet.
Yes.
So we are waiting for that. But we use already AI for certain analysis, for example, analyzing data, whatever. It's very good. It's not new. It already exists for many years. But if you look at the way we communicate, I don't know. My children, they swipe. So maybe
they swipe
PDF.
And don't
I think PDF is a very bad example. Everybody say, we're digital. We are sending PDF files to our customer. You're on an iPhone, whatever, and then you need to pinch to read the content. That's not a digital experience, right?
You need
it's
a
putting paper on a mobile device.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
it's like paper. It's like an A4 is captured in a mobile screen.
Yes. Yeah.
And what we try to do is glanceable content. Glanceable content is content where you can interact with.
Yeah, that fits the dimensions.
Scales, responsive. Giving you a good experience and not sending over just a paper.
It gives you the bits to read that you need to read and digestible.
I would just love to know that any utility mobile phone company, whoever it might be, even enterprise, my customers internally, whoever it might be, would know that when I'd submitted something, it was front and center, and they go, last night Kenny, you told us you want a green one. Yay! I would fall off my seat in surprise. With that sort of intel and near doesn't need to be real time, but near real time in intel. And we always try to end on a kind of good positive because we're running out. The lights are going to go off shortly, quite literally. So
oh really?
Yeah.
Jeez, right. Good point.
41 minutes.
I think it should tell.
And time flies by.
You're gonna have to come back.
Exactly.
I will come back for part 2 then.
We could chat all night. Give us your forecast. Give us a kind of 1, 2, and 3 year forecast of where you think this is going to go. Yeah.
There is another thing. There's another topic, but accessibility law is coming to Europe. It's almost there.
Yes,
it's giving people that are less fortunate with a healthy body or whatever, blind, deaf, whatever disability, anxiety, whatever. I think the way we interact with documents might change heavily. Maybe we start with chatting with a document. Maybe in the future, I don't know. So you can ask questions via AI, obviously. Explain to me in a very easy way what my policy is. For example, that you don't receive the document itself, but you're chatting by a channel. Maybe that's a forecast. I don't know how far.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I can foresee that. Yeah.
Data-driven experiences more and more.
Please let that be the case. I think that'd be.
I think in the moment, real time, augmented stuff like that. I think. It's there yet. It's there, but nobody's seeing the value yet. Technology, not a problem. It can do it. And I hope that we can also do something for the environment. So sending paper over and nobody's reading it, it's wasting the environment. I realize service cost also money, but
so does AI. It costs 10 times more.
To
run that algorithm.
I realize that. I know.
And that's one thing that people don't seem to get.
No,
is that you've got AI on your phone. It's not burning your battery; it's burning a hole in the planet.
Yeah, exactly.
The GPUs that it takes to run these algorithms.
If you use AI for its intended for, but don't ask AI what's 1 + 1, right?
I'd love to be able to.
Your head.
I'd love to be able.
That's rare these days.
I would love to be able to say one. That's far too simple a query. You should know that sort of. And all that kind of stuff, because I do think that's going to be a hole in the earth that is and that's unnecessary. And there's also one of the other claims as an old guy that I've been able to claim, which was I passed my exams without the use of AI, and I've been able to say that.
Yeah, with a
recently.
pen and paper.
Yeah, with a pen and paper and a brain.
That was it.
Now slightly fried, but I had a brain at the time. You know.
Well, we'd love to. I'd love to have you back to talk
There's
more
definitely
about moving forward.
an episode 2 in this. For
Whatever
sure.
you want.
Next time you're
And we'll give a
passing
shout out to, like I say, my daughter-in-law's in Holland studying.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
want to, say something in Dutch. She's supposed to be learning Dutch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Go on, tester.
Let me see. What can I say about your daughter? Then? Well,
Hi, she's amazing and learn Dutch.
no, I will say. Je hebt een bijzondere vader die heel veel weet van de wereld en die mag je 2 handjes kussen daarvoor.
Bourbon.
Yeah. I think you screwed you the way.
Anyway, love you now.
Exactly. Felipe, my friend, I've loved the conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
Literally,
Thank you.
It's been amazing. Thanks.
been
And as like I say, ring the bell, subscribe, tell people about it. All of the details of the dialogue group will be in the chat, will be in the description. We're going to upload some links. We're going to upload some brochures. We'll hopefully get one of these videos to show you how the technology
I'd love to see that. Yeah, exactly.
works. We'll get our hands on it. And any questions you'd like to ask Felipe, even in Dutch, please ask them.
Exactly.
And we'll hopefully welcome him back very soon.
Exactly.
Thank you for Intelligence. Thank you to the group. Thank
And
you
for
to
me
Felipe.
and Danny,
Stay
good night.
safe.
We'll see you
Goodbye.
soon. Take care,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Thanks.
Thank you all.